I seem to have always been telling stories since I've been a young kid. I knew I was always interested in performance in some form. And really, I didn't know what I was going to do when I went into university. I mean, when I went to school at McMaster in 1965 is when I entered. There was no film classes anywhere in Canada. There were a couple film schools in America. I never even thought about going to one of those schools. I didn't even know you could make a living as a film director. I mean, it wasn't really. I was hoping maybe one day I'd get a job at the CBC. It was harder and easier to get into the industry because, well, first of all, there was no industry. I mean, there was Hollywood, and there was television being made in New York, and there was some television being made in Toronto, and French television was being made in Montreal, and that was about it. So my sense was that I would just create work for myself to, you know, pay my bills. So really the first thing I had met a couple of guys from New York who started a new distribution company. It since has become a very big distribution called New Line Cinema. And so with Dan and a couple of other friends, we became New Cinema of Canada, where we took their films and showed them or tried to get them distributed. It was enough to pay for an office and, you know, a cab fare every once in a while. Well, it's a great honor, particularly considering how mediocre a student I was when I first began in high school. I did get much better grades, but in university when I was really interested in music. And it's nice to see my career reflected positively in these kinds of honors. And the most exciting thing for me today, though, was not getting, you know, the diploma or the degree. It was really watching the 312 Ryerson graduates, you know, come across the stage. I had a perfect angle as they came to shake, you know, the chancellor's and the president's hands, and you know, most of them had such wonderful energy in their eyes, and had the sort of knowledge of completing a kind of important chapter in their lives. And so to be able to sit there in that sort of unique seat was really wonderful. Well, I absolutely think education is important. You haven't wasted your money by going to Ryerson, it'll be okay. I think it's important because it forces you to learn and to communicate on a higher degree than if you just sort of goof around between high school and your job and running into the job market right away. There's a way that you learn how to think and how to speak on your feet and how to communicate that gives you a distinct advantage. It's not necessarily the specifics of the history or philosophy course that you went through. Ryerson, at least particularly, has courses that are more professionally oriented so that you're actually learning some skills that can be helpful. But most importantly, it's the friends that you meet and make and the broadening of one's horizons when you're in an institution like this surrounded by other people who are smart, who want to do something with their lives, and that you can respond to in a bigger way.